So we are covering the basics with a different expression so that you all as a seeker understand it and you can go deeper with it. So today I will take up the three facets of the consciousness. Uh, One facet is the emotional dependence. Second is the emotional freedom. Third is the enlightenment. Only the three aspects are there in our journey of human life. Either we are emotionally dependent, since birth, I depend on my parents and on the society, on the outer conditions of the life, and gradually it builds up the habit of emotional dependence. But if I don't know what exactly is the emotional freedom, and then I cannot have a 360-degree understanding. That was our topic number one, 2 weeks before. Last week, we understood that if there is no harmony at different levels of our life, then there cannot be an emotional freedom. One thing should be sure. For example, I have a hatred for anyone, and now I want to succeed in meditation. Not possible. So there is an ethical, you can use the word ethical freedom is required, or you can say the emotional freedom is required. I should have a harmony outside in different situations. Emotional dependence, I have a sense of the ego, and then I speak, I create a differences outside. So there should not be an emotional freedom. And when I practice meditation, these thoughts are going to disturb. So one way you can say, you can understand there's three levels of, there's a kind of a trinity. We talk of the trinity, the emotional dependence stage of life, emotional freedom stage of the life is the life of a seeker. And when we say awakening or enlightenment, it is a state of I am consciousness. I am consciousness. So we are going to understand in a variety of ways. So the two aspects that we have covered before that, they form the strong basis. And when you start living into that state, means your thought, your speech, your action, what happens? There is a harmony in the outer life. And the ultimate harmony is nothing but the awakening. So we understood there are four goals. Three goals are external, and one goal is internal. Three goals which are external is just to, it is known as, first goal is known as the dharma. Dharma literally is translated as religion, but it has less to do with the religion. In Eastern wisdom, when we use the word dharma, we say what holds you, what protects you. What protects us from dying? Consciousness. Consciousness is not there in this body and the mind. We are no more. So in that way we explain the dharma. So what it means, now how to follow that dharma. So one aspect of the dharma, that I drive according to the rules. I drive with responsibility. One example. So how it protects me? It protects me from so many things. The cop is not going to chase me. I speak with the love and care to you. It is going to protect me. Are you getting it? Very subtle meaning. That is what, that what brings the harmony, first level of harmony in the external life. I told you that, I went to lease a car and there was a difference of $7,000 of the same model of the same car from the two dealers. Now, can my mind blame that this guy is a cheater and this guy is good? I don't know. So there, I have to protect myself from the dharma. Oh, they are doing their own business, so I need not to go there. Finished. So what happens? You are bringing an harmony, using an action outside and bringing the harmony inside. If you cannot bring the harmony inside by the outer action, meditation will not succeed. I told you, meditation embraces every aspect of our life. Awakening embraces every aspect of our life. So what needs to be done? My action. What a kind of an action? Action springs from the thought. So the master guides us a rule. What is right and good? That is your duty and responsibility at the personal level, at the professional level, at the social level. What happens? You are always free in thinking, speaking, and acting in these situations, and it helps you to recognize what causes the emotional dependence, and so that I can move to the emotional freedom. And if there is no emotional freedom, we have been covering in the Mondays and Thursdays sessions. 7 factors. Third, third or the fourth factor is the emotional attachment, emotional dependence. If we don't have that emotional dependence, we can practice meditation for years and years together. That is why we don't succeed. We don't succeed. So the first level of the harmony begins with what we call the dharma. That is why the Buddha says, Dhammam Sharanam Gacchami. I take refuge in the Dharma. Dharma does not mean that I take refuge in the Buddhism or Hinduism. No, not at all. What protects me? I think, speak, and act in what protects me from falling into the unconsciousness. Now I'm giving an explanation. So everything is the same. Explanations are different. So that is the first level of the harmony. Second level of the harmony, because we have a choice, intellect is free, we have some ability to think, to make a choice, and that is what about the economic harmony. Whether I'm earning $1,000 a month or whether I'm earning $1 million a month, I should have a harmony in my life. But at present, I'm not earning. My parents are supporting. Let me be grateful to my parents. As I'm grateful to you all. You are contributing to my life. I should never forget others' contribution in my life in providing me the economic security. Some kind of an economic harmony means, to eat, basic needs are met, basic resources for your professional activities are met. So we have to look that need first. So there we discover the emotional freedom. A sense of freedom is there. Otherwise, what happens? I am deeply attached to my profession because why? I am just working and working. Why? What I want to say. Out of the 7 factors, you can catch it. And then I'm fully busy, then I'm reactive, then I'm blaming, and then I'm complaining. And in that state, if I think that I will succeed, no way. Realization will never come. Realization can only come when there is a complete emotional freedom from the external world. So, second point. And the third point, what we said, karma. So we have to discriminate. We have to discern. Here is a binding desire, and here is my desire. Desire to go to the restroom is a desire. It's not a binding desire. Why it is not a binding desire? I never think about it. Once I return from the restroom, once I take my breakfast, it never comes to my mind. But it becomes a binding desire. I did not get a food of my choice. What we think, I can sit with my eyes closed one day, 2 hours, retreat 3 hours or 4 hours, and then I will be enlightened. The moment I return home, that first factor, dharma, and the second factor haunts your mind. Your meditation is disturbed. So I don't pay attention to these factors, and that is why the Buddha says the Four Noble Truths. There is a suffering. Why there is a suffering? Convert this into the three categories. Three-step process. World is a suffering. Where it leads to? Because of the emotional dependence. The moment your intellect starts reflecting what is the cause of the suffering, you have started the first step towards the emotional freedom. Can you say Buddha was, all these masters are crazy? I have come here to learn meditation and you are talking of the world is suffering. Do you see that? No, I have come here. You are a realized master Buddha. Can you awaken me? No, world is suffering. He says world is suffering. Understand this. We have to understand in a very clear way. Why? Because we all are seekers. I have to accept what the Buddha says, what other master says, and then I have to give a right interpretation in my life in order to reach to that state. You see that? So, third is the binding desire versus the desire. How can I recognize the binding desire? Thoughts are being repeated about a situation, about a person, about a possession, about anything. I hate this guy. So that is going to be repeated again and again. So any thought process which goes on repeating itself, there is a element of the binding desire. So these three factors these three goals, or you can say the factors, are external. If I don't prepare myself to have a harmony outside, internal harmony, you may say, no, my dad or my honey is crazy. Let them be crazy. So how that craziness dissolves from your mind? By emotional freedom. Nobody is sticking to you like a glue. I stick like a glue by the thought, feeling, and emotions. See that? So that is the meaning Buddha says. What he says, Sangham Sharanam Gacchami. Sangham means collectivity. In collectivity, I take refuge in the collective. It means there is a sense of the harmony outside. So I have to contemplate and think and create that harmony. Terry, no more craziness over maid. You love maid. Even if she does fault, you say, I love you, honey. You did the right thing. You made me aware. You made me aware. I'm not going to be upset. You say once and see what happens. I can bet you. Your heart, your mind and emotions, becomes totally free. And the third, so the three factors are outside, that I have yet to get to evolve. The fourth goal of life is the internal. I want a freedom from I that is attached to the three goals of life in a variety of ways, causing the emotional dependence, causing the suffering and the problem. So I want a freedom for I, wrong. Freedom for I, emotional dependence. Freedom from I. Go to all the seven factors. Freedom from the very I is the beginning of an awakening into the meditation. Can animals understand this entire process? Answer is no. Can I, as a human being, understand? Yes. An average intelligence, we can understand this process. Eastern wisdom is not difficult to understand. Average intelligence person can easily understand these principles. What is very important is to abide in that knowledge. Abiding in that knowledge is meditation. Abiding in that knowledge is recognizing that I am consciousness. I'm making it very simple, open. So now I have to understand what you said, abiding in the knowledge. Plants and animals do seem to follow largely automated biological processes and innate instincts that have evolved over the time. Their lifespan, their growth pattern, behavior around the reproduction, habitat appear predefined by the genetics and the nature. Whale. When you say to the whale, I'll just build a skyscraper, come and live with me. Predetermined. Plants and animals. Plants and animals do seem to follow an automated program. What about us? We have an automated program also, and we have a freedom also. That is known as the free will. I can exercise that free will all the time. That means I am aware. I'm living life like a human being. Automated process, I have an urge to go to the restroom, so I should follow it. Finished. You have ordered the doctors, if you hold it, it results into many illnesses. I'm just giving you one example, simple example. So our masters perceive this at the level of the consciousness. So not only we follow automated process, we have some of the social cultural construct. So I have to examine and I have to get rid of my emotional dependence. Then only I exercise my free will. We are influenced by the biology. We have developed advanced cognition. We are influenced by the biology, but we have still developed the advanced cognition and self-awareness. This allows us to deliberately choose goals. Animals cannot choose those goals. They are predetermined. Last month I was looking at the Discovery Channel with this lion. Once that lion was the king of his herd in the forest. Now the aging lion. He has reached to the physical maturity. His only two sons ostracized him from the group. Once who was a king and waiting for his herd to eat whatever remains are left and dies. Animal, emotional, but we have a freedom. So there also comes the ethical that I should take care of my parents when I claim that I'm more intelligent. Sam, I'm more intelligent than my parents. Then I have to take care of it. That brings an emotional freedom. Do you see that how a teacher analyzes and examines your life when you share any of your experiences? It is my responsibility and a duty. They fulfilled their responsibility. That is why I'm alive. One example. I'm coming to the basic principle. So the complex human mind in the self-awareness leads us to think and reflect the existential question: who am I? Why I have it now total freedom, the outer harmony is there. I have enough time to contemplate and reflect. And then I can easily enter into the meditation journey. So I go beyond the basic survival goals. Basic survival goals, animals, lower level. We are little above the animal kingdom. We are little below the God. We have to reclaim that Godhood is what awakening and it is the goal of meditation. So we have three. So we are in a transition in the middle. Animals are below, and there is something supreme consciousness is above at present. Think in terms of the consciousness. So they have a lower consciousness. They are bound. It is controlled. It is predetermined. But I know it is, even if it is predetermined, I have a choice to bypass it. But if I bypass with a harmony, I am into meditation. If I do not bypass with a harmony, or I bypass with a disharmony, there is an agitation and stress and duality and a conflict in my life. That is the difference. Understand that very difference. The plants and animals achieve goals in an automated way based on their biology and natural programming. They reach a certain stage of maturity. Now think of it. Lion has reached a stage of maturity. Means he has become an old. What is his goal? We have goal at every point of. Why? Because of the self-awareness. But if the self-awareness, I do not choose the goal based on these four factors that I explained to you, I cannot reach to that. Why the Buddha left the house, so I should also leave the house? No. The journey of meditation does not go by imitation. It goes by understanding. I have to understand. How we humans break out of that automatic programming to do the things differently. We have to become aware. The greater the awareness, it results into an emotional freedom. But only when you are a seeker, then only you can understand. Otherwise, in the beginning, we will say, follow the practice of discernment and dispassion. Here is a mantra, do the practice. We have to say that. There is no other way. Until you reach to a point of self awareness where you contemplate and reflect about your life. You know the biological need is secondary. You know automation, I have to break that life of automation. Why? So that I can become creative, I can become contemplative, I can become reflective, I can see the difference between the emotional dependence and the emotional freedom. Emotional freedom. So, why? Because we have an advanced cognition. What is this advanced cognition? Consciousness. Animal consciousness, human consciousness. Are you saying that? Or can you say that, my consciousness has a yellow color and animal consciousness has a black color? It is the same consciousness. It is the same consciousness in every being. But we are given an instrument that is intellect, which makes me self aware to choose, to have an option, to have a goal of life. What is that goal of life? Is the freedom. Meditation brings the freedom from the bondage. Freedom from the bondage is known as awakening. So, advanced, I can use the word advanced for the sake of understanding. Advanced cognition and intellect, self consciousness. It will never come. Every master did it directly and indirectly by creating an external harmony. First, what I have, what I possess, where I live, in which society, let me create the harmony around me. My honey is crazy. I'm living with the same honey. How can I create the harmony? I no, but no, but he or she is not created. Forget about that. From my internal, that level of animal consciousness should not become stronger. It should become weaker and weaker. Do you see that we are going step by step? The basics we are understanding. Then only we can enter into the meditation, which is a non practice. Means, but just by understanding. What that means? Now I understood, now I abide in that knowledge. I abide in that knowledge. Now let me invoke one teaching from the Upanishads. Consciousness is totally hidden. It is present, but it is hidden in the matter. It is rudimentary, or it is just somewhat some kind of sensation in the plants. More manifestation in the animal kingdom with the four instincts. The same consciousness is manifesting as a self awareness to choose the destiny, either freedom and the bondage in the human being. And what about when we use the word God, it's the total freedom. You see, evolution of consciousness. Consciousness is still the same. Matter does not have an instrument. Plants have an instrument in the form of a life. So we experience the sensation. Further growth takes place when animals have four instincts. We can overpower those instincts or we cannot. That makes me a human being. I have a choice. And we bypass being a human being. When you say that, I feel I have an experience of bodilessness, that is the point of, can that happen all the time? Just understand in a very clear, in a very simple way. What prevents me? Egoistic mentality, distortion, lot of stuff that I have already covered briefly in the last two sessions, that I need 360-degree understanding and I need four goals. clearly defined in my life. First three goals, fourth goal. First three, outer, so that I prevent any form of suffering coming from outside, so I can devote more and more time to my journey of the self discovery. If you cannot do that, everyone has done it, directly or indirectly. Pick up any master, tell me. I will make you understand. In a different way, I'm making you. So you say, no, no, so I use the meditation as an escape, and that frustrates you. How long I've been doing meditation with you? Maybe 3 years. I'm still frustrated. Don't blame me. Blame yourself. Blame yourself. Then you fall short of being a seeker. Many people say to me, I say, yes, yes, you're right. You can blame me. So we continue to have a temporary satisfaction from the three goals in life that is outside to create a sense of harmony, to start working for a permanent happiness. That is what the awakening is. If you don't do it, it will create a problem. I have explained you with reference to the matter, plants, animals, humans, and ultimately the God. One master beautifully says, it stuck to me very long, almost 40 years ago. Life evolved out of the matter. If the matter is not a foundation, how the life can evolve? Can you see the life? No. Can you see the life without matter? Matter means this body. So if the body is not there, it is purely inert matter. What a beautiful way to understand. Now the mind evolved out from the life. When there is a life means it's a conducive condition, and that the mind evolved. So mind in the plants is almost like a sensation. Mind in the animals is like the four instinct, and mind in the human being is a little above. I have a choice of self-awareness. That makes me a human being. Consciousness is the same. So I am trying to explore how that consciousness is the same. Because if I understand that consciousness in an inert matter, I understand the consciousness in my body. So what I said, life was involved into the matter. When it evolved out of the matter, it became the plant kingdom. Can I say that? In terms of the consciousness? Answer is yes. Look at the beauty of understanding. And now the mind was already involved, unconscious, in the life, in the plants, to make the mind evolve. So that existence changed the name and the form and some properties of the plants, and they became animals. And that existence experimented from the lowest animals to the highest level of animals. And the existence continues to evolve. So we came on this earth as a human being. I hope you are all getting it. But the process of evolution is still continuing. You cannot say, no, I became. Physical evolution is complete. But the physical maturity of the animals is complete and they are worth useless. But it is because of my self awareness in a human being which pushes me to go beyond the boundaries of the mind, which it makes me experience the suffering, anxiety, duality, and a conflict. Transcending the mind is meditation. Did you understand? This is how the entire process of evolution it continues, whether I am attending a session of meditation or I do not attend a session. It doesn't work. The evolution continues. For a non-seeker, it may take many births to reach to that state. For a seeker, it takes only one birth to reach. That is the only difference. Now that is beautifully explained. Now I'm coming to the core concept which I wanted to explain. There are three words. We say VPS. V means Vikrati. Second is the Prakriti. Third is the Sanskriti. We use the three words in Sanskrit. Vikrati. Vikrati, what is below the human consciousness, is a modified state, is a lower consciousness, which pertains to the matter, plants, and animals. The moment I become a seeker, I want to create that harmony outside so that I can go inside. So that is the state of the Prakriti. And the Sanskriti means that now my mind, body, intellect, emotions, everything is highly cultured. Why? So that I can find my real self as pure consciousness. You have to listen to this again and again and again with reference to the last two. We are covering the basics so that you know how I can be into the state of mindfulness all the time. So the lower state, I said, in the beginning, I summarized it. What I said, we are little below, no, we are little above the animal kingdom. So that animal also includes the plants and the matter. We are little below. So we have continued to rise from below and we have to transcend our state. That is why we talk about that we are transcending the mind. That is the meaning that we are transcending. Transcending the mind does not mean that I sit with eyes closed and I have transcended. After that, and again I start fighting. That is not the meaning of transcending the mind. Think, my friends, think. Otherwise, you'll have a lot of. So, Vikrati means it is a modified state, the lower consciousness. It refers to the lower, distorted state of the consciousness. Consciousness is not distorted, but to express it, to understand it. I believe you are getting animal consciousness, plant consciousness, material consciousness. Then we have a Prakriti, means the natural state. Now I experience the sense of emotional freedom, the state of equilibrium. Or you can say where the Sato, Raju, and Tamoguna are in equilibrium. Where? Inside my head. I still follow those animal instincts, but it is balanced. It does not lead me to obsession. And the third, now I know that once I reach to that equilibrium, I can easily transcend it. That is what the highly spiritual stated. So the entire journey of yoga, meditation, tantra, mantra, everything is a movement from the distorted state to an equilibrium state to an enlightened state. When? All the time. Where? In all the locations, in all the situations, in what relationship, in all the relationships. The mind becomes so much flexible. When mind is not flexible, I'm living below. Animals. Their mind is not flexible. Are you getting it? Say yes. So when I'm not flexible enough, otherwise my master used to say that your mind should jump within a fraction of a millisecond, judging and looking at the situation outside. So that jumping brings the compassion in your life. I must understand this. No, 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 you are creating a problem to me. I'm getting angry. I just now I want to throw out. Before I throw out with a fraction of a millisecond, mind jumps from distorted state to to. For that I need an awareness, Terry. All maids are goddess. So goddess has come to help me. I'm just giving an example. I know that Terry will not mind it. Other people may think of it. So they think in a different direction. So they are going down in a distorted state. In order to reach to that awakened state, we have to follow all these processes and the methods. I hope that your mind and the intellect has absorbed this principle. You have to combine all the three principles together so that you have a clarity, so that in the next week we are going for another higher journey. So that once, in 5 or 6, 7 sessions, I make the basic concepts clear, and then we see that how we can achieve the state of meditation without doing anything. Now is the time, close your eyes. Eyes are closed. We are not going to do anything. It's a non practice, my friends. Eyes are closed. Now, who says that my eyes are closed? You are not your eyes. Do you have that awareness? That is the meaning of mind jumps from relating to the body that I am not the body. If eyes do not have a functionality of opening and closing, and then I say close your eyes will not be closed. I'm just talking of the third level. So, but the entire instructions today, you analyze with reference to these three levels. I said it, eyes are closed. But if eyes do not have the ability to be closed and open, even if you say it, it will never happen. And it is that ability of the eyes, it's because of the consciousness, not because you are closing the eyes. That ego, that attachment, that identification has come from nowhere. It does not exist. Now, how can you say the eye is there? Okay, let your eye say that water, you create a wall here for my room. It does not have that ability. Are you getting it? Yes. So what we are exactly doing by understanding, we are moving the mind from a distorted state to an equilibrium state. By understanding, not by. Now, take it the same example of being comfortable. Being comfortable. Comfort, if the comfort is not already present, you cannot draw that comfort out into the body through the mind. Do you see that? So that comfort belongs to the natural consciousness. It does not belong to the body. It does not belong to the mind. Let us go deeper. So you analyze with reference to these three states. What is your analysis? Your reflection is moving your mind from the distorted state to an equilibrium state. How? By understanding plus abiding in that knowledge. So when you abide in that knowledge, you are settled in the comfort because that comfort contains the consciousness which manifests as a comfort. The I has no role. Where is the I? And if the I can be comfortable all the time, then why this I do not make you comfortable all the time? It means I does not have any role. You experience it. You say that I'm not comfortable today, I'm crazy today, I'm reacting today, I'm upset today. So that I has no role. And that I is distorted, missed in animals and the plants. That I develop because I recognize by the self-awareness. You have to just listen and you enter into that awareness. That is all. Now let us go again deeper with the instructions that I used to give, looking at the, for example, looking at the shoulder joints. What is the first experience? Is not I experience the sensation there. Can you experience the sensation without awareness? No. First is the awareness, after that there is a sensation. Sensation is an experience in the mind, awareness is independent. Did you get the three movement? Here and now. Look at this. That wisdom is brought to us by, passed on to us by those great masters. The more you understand, it blows your mind. So this is what it is. Again, check it. Where, no, I say that look at the entire body and experience the sensation, comfort, and steadiness. Can you experience sensation, comfort, and steadiness without awareness or without consciousness? No. So which one is the first? Consciousness. So is there, do I have an ability of the mind to pay attention to that consciousness which makes me experience sensation, comfort, and steadiness? Yes, you are there. That is the meaning of transcending the mind. Why? Sensation, comfort, and steadiness takes place in the mind. All objective experiences are taking place in the mind. But there is one thing, that awareness, that consciousness is still independent of sensation, comfort, and it mixed up. It mixed up. Then we say, I experience the sensation. Awareness mix up with the body at a particular point, and we say, I feel the sensation here. It mix up with the comfort, and it says, yes, I see, feel that. It mix up with the Awareness envelops awareness envelops the pain, lower consciousness. Awareness envelops the pleasure in contact with someone outside, something outside, lower consciousness. Are you getting it? Once we have, this is the entire journey of meditation. When we are not a seeker, the teacher takes you to through a different route, but basics are the same. Now see that you're just aware, and your mind in that state of the self-awareness is simply aware. Here it's a lower movement of the mind, distorted state, a binding state, emotionally, whatever you can say, emotionally dependent state, equilibrium state. That is why you are not moving any part of the body. Look at it. And from that state, we discover the consciousness is independent of everything, of the body, mind, intellect, thought, feeling, duality, pain, pleasure, delusion. Then what happened? Once I understood, I abide in that knowledge. What do you mean by abiding in that knowledge? I abide in that knowledge because I know I am consciousness. It's a non practice, but I'm talking with reference to what you have already been doing it, being comfortable and carefree. So don't take it as a step, but go deep into it so that that step dissolves by itself. No action is required. It only happens when we move to I explained you, Trinity, the third level. I get a flash of the third level. I'm not saying you are abiding in that knowledge for 24 hours now. But you just got a flash of, yes, I know it. And that I is different from the other I which causes the emotional dependence. One is the false I and other is the real I. I'm not taking you to dreaming and vision and colors. Purely understanding part. Being carefree. Just use that for contemplation and reflection. So from where we start being carefree, free from all the cares. The next question comes, who cares? Mind, or I say I care. So it is the reflected consciousness, it is the same mind in the form of an ego cares. What it cares? Oh, I have lots of crazy thoughts. Crazy thoughts are coming because of distorted state of the consciousness. Our masters are very humble. They don't say that we are distorted. Oh, no, no, it is the impurity of the mind. Are you getting? I'm making just very simple. Oh, yes. Carefree. Mind cares. So all I experience in terms of the thought, feeling, emotion, situation, condition comes from the mind. So it is the mind my cares, but the mind cannot care unless I have an I thought. And that I thought is present in the mind, which I say I am. That is the false self. Animals do not have that self awareness to claim I thought. Still, at the unconscious level, they have it. Even the plants have it. And because of this self awareness, because being a human, we can explore this. So, what is our exploration? Simple result. Thoughts are coming and going, they are not me and mine. And you are extraordinarily aware. You are extraordinarily aware that nothing that enters into the mind is me or mine. Is that being a carefree? Just check it. Is that a state of equilibrium? The middle stage. Am I ready for a transition? Think. So when you are carefree, you have validated the simple principle. What is that principle? That the distorted state of the consciousness has nothing to do with me. I'm just hijacked by the animal consciousness or the animal mind. I have a choice to be free. How? I'm not. What my mind is thinking, feeling, emotion, sensation, separation. And in the third level, I recognize who I am. I recognize that I am, which is constant. I drop that I, which is constantly changing. I am upset, I'm happy. I'm crazy, I'm good, I'm bad. You see that I is changing. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring your awareness on the right hand, your awareness on the left hand. Lift your both the palms, place it on your eyes, open the eyes inside, know your experiences, bring the hands down. We will share our experiences and the reflection. If you have any question, obviously you can ask. How are you, Stephen?
Good, sir. Thank you. A lot in that. I thank you for it. What I've got out of it on the initial level is the fact of creating a harmony and balance, both internally and externally. But the most important part is it's through self-awareness, and there's a lot to think about that this week. So I'm going to take it from there. So the non-practice was just very peaceful, quiet, calm. Couple of self-awareness moments going on through that, but outside of that, it'll be a week of contemplation and reflection.
Beautiful. That's beautiful. What happens, when I was taking a bath, so my mind was saying, oh, it is such a unique principle. How you are going to explain? I said, my master is going to speak from me. So I focused on that. And then I started the journey. I started speaking. And all the thoughts continued to flow. So understand that process of relationship of the master and a seeker tradition is like that. So we don't see this my master's physical body. We see it is a body of consciousness. And that is purely a meditative state. And it happens. It happens. How are you, David and Jerry?
Thank you. Yeah, extremely powerful, simple. The relationship between consciousness and the intellect is one that I really want to contemplate and reflect on this week. But yeah, I mean, kind of similar to Stephen's. Just it was extremely powerful. Thank you.
Yes, you are pointing. That's another way to explain. I did not say that. The relationship between the intellect and the consciousness is the same relationship I have with the mouse, I have with the computer. Once we recognize that, you are free. But if I say no, the intellect has some say over the consciousness, that is what the ego is. That is where the ego comes. How can this have an ego? Mouse? No, no way. So once you understand, your mind becomes totally free. Yes, you got it. Yes, how are you, Jerry?
Judith, thank you. The balance that Stephen mentioned, the gurus that we have in our lives, the opportunities are really important in our lineage to allow that to shine through us, and that's the consciousness is shining through. And it allows us with the consciousness allows us to see the imbalance that's always there outside.
Yes.
Right. And so we know we bring our knowledge and our understanding and with that we know that the peace isn't disturbed inside.
You rightly pointed out the guru, my master used to say, so I'm touching your feet. Master says, no. You move, guru is nothing but movement from the ignorance to the wisdom. Guru really means, literally it means guru. Guru. Two syllables. One is ignorance and one is the wisdom. So if I have an ability to see the guru as the body of the consciousness, so what you are doing, you are moving from the distorted state, the emotional dependence, to the emotional freedom, to the higher state. It has nothing to do with the physical guru. Beautifully said. How are you, Brandy?
I'm good. I'm glad to know I have the same consciousness as my cat, but I'm also glad to know that I have the separate self awareness to do the practice.
And we have also the same consciousness with whom we have some hatred and reaction, including the cat. That is more important. I know that you are happy that I have the same consciousness with my cat, no, with all the cats. So we have to expand our horizon also. Beautifully, yes, that's a beautiful way to reflect. But this should not happen just during the session. It should happen all the time. Very good, Brandy. How are you, Terry? Instead of a cat, you can apply a maid.
No, I was thinking a lot about the lion,
Yeah, lion, yes.
but I'm not clear. I have to listen again because I feel like the lion, the old lion.
Old lion.
And even if you have children, which I do not, they don't, they don't always.
Yes,
At
yes.
some point, and at some point, there's nothing they can do for you.
Yes, yes, that is also true.
I have to listen to this and again and again.
Yeah, there is a beautiful concept that I want to just give a brief of it. You meet someone who is 10 years younger than you love it and you like it, and your love flows like as if you are a guardian, and that guy is just like a kid. We don't need to have a physical relationship of the parents and the mother and the daughter. It is the consciousness that evolves and expresses through the mind. We need that.
In the way that you trusted
God,
that
trust. Trust, and what is the opposite of the trust? It is a fact.
no,
It is a factor of the lower consciousness, animal consciousness. So when we evolve, we become a seeker, then you need not to think of a trust, there is a trust. But yes, in the beginning, until we become a seeker, we have to continue the journey. Now I tell you, I give my example. So now think that this guy is 98 years old, not able to speak and trembling, the body is trembling. And now this guy, 90 years, 80 years old, is still carried out by the lower consciousness, the animal consciousness. Will anyone like it? Will anyone approach it? Even if they approach it, look at this guy, old age lion. That is what the old lion is looking at his kids when they eat whatever the remains left. Then the old lion approaches. That is what the lower consciousness is. It is all about the consciousness. It has less to do with the body and the mind. That is why you see that those masters, Buddha taught for more than 45 years with the same agility, with the same level of awareness. You don't feel you are limited by it, my friends. because the consciousness breaks the notion that I am the body and the mind and the ego. That is known as the awakening. No, I have out of the body experience. Now you will never enter into the body. That is how you have out of the body experience. Don't go into those. Uh, you understand that? Beautiful. How are you, Dennis?
Thank you for the session. There was this kind of a wow moment in the meditation when you said that this false I is not needed to experience the comfort and the peace, because the comfort and the peace has nothing to do with the body or the mind or the ego. And this was almost an experiential understanding that I almost experienced this fact that I don't really need it. I can this all can be bypassed to perceive this peace and everything directly without these tools of the mind and the ego.
Yeah.
And the other thing that the takeaway from today's session for me is that the inert matter is also a manifestation of consciousness.
Yeah.
And the way to understand it is that the matter has a potential to evolve into a self-aware mind like our brain is.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Beautiful point. And a great reflection. The more you reflect like this, you will see you are evolving and you rise into the state of the consciousness. How this mouse, does the mouse know, even if it has a chip, the way it is acting, the way I'm using it? I'm using the mouse to browse my windows on the computer. But that very functionality is consciousness, is not the matter of the chip. It has nothing to do with the matter and inertness. This is what our masters are drawing our attention to. The water everywhere, its very functionality remains the same in the entire universe. So scientists do not pay attention to this and they say, let us see where the water is there on other planets. So when I see that, oh, water. No, I give an example that you cannot erect a wall of the water. That very natural state of the water, the natural inherent intrinsic property of the water comes from the consciousness. And that is why there is only one consciousness. There is nothing else in this world. That is the matter of awakening. Yes, how are you, Sam?
Namaste, sir.
Namaste, sir.
I always appreciate this part of the week compared to the other lessons because it's the return to the fundamental principle of consciousness. And I was just actually working with someone on their physics homework, and we had to go back to the fundamentals. And I was thinking about you as I was doing that, because no matter what state we're in, or whatever, anything we're blaming or complaining or scared of or anything, we have a fundamental principle of being consciousness, and that settles you.
Yes, we are consciousness. We are not the body, mind, intellect. We are none of these professions. We are none of these relations. We are only one consciousness, and wherever I see, there is only consciousness. So when I move to that state of realization, that is what is known as the perfection or the highest state of meditation, or you can say awakening realization. Maid is also consciousness. No, I'm teasing Terry. So how are you, Weber?
Thank you, sir. I'm good. It is like that in the balanced state of the natural state of the mind, the attachment towards my habit is automatically drop,
Yes.
and then there is an awareness towards that I have a choice. Then I can work in consciousness rather than being habitual about the habit.
It's a beautiful point that you raised. When you move to that, what did you say, the natural state of the consciousness you said pertaining to?
Like in the natural state of the mind, I drop that attachment towards my habits.
Yeah. We need not to control and suppress the habit. When you say control and suppress, you are taking over. Then you have started doing some practice. So here it is a non-practice. You are understanding what is the natural state. And that natural state simply drops. Yes, you rightly said. That's a wonderful point to be understood. That is how we reveal and contemplate and reflect. That is all. Thank you very much. We will meet again.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
Thank you. Namaste.
Namaste.